What's up, David? What's going on, man? You hear me all right? What's going on, Flaxus? How's it going, man? I'll give everybody a second to hop in here. If you can hear me all right, just let me know. So hopefully the stream's working. Crypto Supply, what's going on, brother? How's it hanging? Sweet. Perfect. Actually have two screens in the office. Dallas, what's up? What's up, Texas? Hope all is well there, man. Jeff, what's going on, dude? How is it hanging, guys? What's up, Roman? Appreciate y'all taking the time. Yeah, OMG, man. OMG is crushing it today for freaking sure. Hold up, I need a beer. Yeah, get one, Earl. Let me know what you're getting, brother. Should be, should certainly be an interesting day. I mean, I'm not sure where everybody's kind of thoughts are in the market today, but I mean, for me personally, today was definitely an interesting, definitely an interesting day from the crypto space, especially when we're looking at a couple different things like OMG. I mean, if anybody is in on OMG, that this has been it hasn't been like a ridiculous rise in the past couple days, but for the most part, I mean, if you've gotten in fairly early, it's been pretty nuts. What's my main bags? I'll shoot you the link here. I'll pull it up for you so you can take a look at it as to what I'm holding. So let's see if this website loads. Boom. Sweet. So, I mean, right now I need to adjust. This is the 25th, so this is not necessarily the full value of everything, and my OMG is actually probably a lot higher right now. My OMG is probably close to like 25% of my portfolio because of the rise in the valuation. Ethereum has also probably grown a little bit from an overall fiat valuation percentage, but I mean, just so you guys know, this is kind of what I'm holding at the given time. Ethereum, OMG, Civic, Bitcoin, SNT, DNT, the bags that I'm holding and the ones that are way down, that's going to be DNT, District OX, kill me. Status is hurting a little bit. I'm still up from the ICO, but it's definitely nowhere near what it was. I mean, it's probably down 75% or so, at least on the Ethereum. Perspective. So status has been down a little bit, but you know, it is what it is at this point in time. So I'm just trying to kind of hold on with that as much as possible. Somebody asked what will happen with OMG after the airdrop. Honestly, I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen with OMG after the airdrop. I don't necessarily know if that's like a massive driver of the price. I think the airdrop is interesting. I don't remember the exact number of coins that you do get per Ethereum. I feel like it's not I feel like it's like close to like 1 OMG for 20 ETH or something. I don't remember the exact number of what it is at this point in time, but it's not like, I mean, unless you have a ton of unless you have a ton of Ethereum, you're not going to get a massive amount of ETH. So it's not that big of, unless you have a ton of ETH, you're not going to get that much OMG. So it's not that big of a deal, in my opinion. It's nice that they're doing that and taking 5% of their market cap to try to, hopefully like increase adoption, but it's not an incredible amount. 0.4 per ETH. Okay, so that's pretty good actually. That's not bad. So I don't know that exact number of ETH I have, but that'll give me some OMG for sure. So I'm holding a good amount of OMG right now. So in the actual percentage of, maybe I'll get like 10-15 OMG for that, and I'm holding a couple hundred. So it's not going to make a huge dent for me. But if somebody is doesn't have any and really wants some, then that's that's nice for sure. Leonardo, what's going on, man? I've been, what's up, Mark? How's it going, dude? I've been stacking up on OMG since it was around $1, and then I bought more, I think at $5, and I bought more at $7. And right now, we're looking in, I'm on Coinigy right now, and I got two screens, so sorry for not looking directly at you guys, but I'll pull it up on the month-long charts. I bought OMG back here, so pretty much like right at the beginning of August, and then I also bought a little bit on this pullback here. So I bought it around $7 when it kind of shot up to $9. Bought a little bit on the pullback. And I think I also bought a little bit around the $5 mark when it was running up. So I have 3 different entry points. My biggest entry point being down here, which I wish was, I only put a couple $100s in back here, and now it's worth like thousands. So I wish I put more in. Stupid of me, but it is what it is. And I actually, I'm not in on Neo right now. Just, it is what it is. Dino, what's going on, man? I'm trying to get to all the comments as much as I can, bro. I don't know what counting up or not means, but trying to. If I can't get to everybody's comments, I certainly try to, so just be patient with me as much as possible. And as far as, you know, as far as things go from the perspective of, basically as far as things go from the perspective of OMG, I mean, just looking at this, I have no idea what's going to happen in the near future here, and sorry for the stream quality if it's a little bit low. Coming from a work conference room, so trying to hopefully, hopefully, I think some of the issue might be on the actual side of the internet here at the office. But looking at OMG's perspective, and I made a video about this earlier, but when you're talking about the actual movement here, I mean, from the past month, over the past 28 days, you can see that OMG is up 837% over the past 28 days. So, I mean, that's a massive, massive move. I don't know if that's going to continue or not. I mean, a lot of people are calling for $20 OMG, $50 OMG. I'm holding right now. I'm not going to do anything unless something changes drastically. I'm just going to hold on to it and see what happens. But for the most part, I'm going to just kind of wait and play it out. Yeah, Leo, I know. I got a lot of dislikes on that Neo video, but it is what it is, man. It is what it is. What are my thoughts on Neo? Is it going to hold this level now? I'll pull up the Neo chart, actually, and we'll take a look at that, because I got a lot of people. I made a lot of people unhappy when I talked about Neo. So I'll pull up Neo against the USD, and we'll take a look at this maybe in the past. Let's look at it in the past month or so. So here we are on the Neo chart right now, and with the Neo chart, you can kind of tell Neo had a incredible run. So I got into Neo actually before it was Neo. I got into Neo when it was still Ant shares, and got into Neo when it was still Ant shares, and got in at around $5 or so. And then when Neo had the rebrand, it went immediately up to, pretty much went up to 15 or so dollars. And from there, shot all the way up at one point to basically within the course of from August 7th to the 13th, Neo went up. Let's see how much Neo went up. From August 7th to the 13th, really, Neo went up, let's say 200+%, up between 220 to 250%. And then has pretty much had a little bit of a slow kind of fall back down from those highs. So, looking at kind of where things are right now, that news came out yesterday. I'll scroll in a little bit more on the 4 hour, so we'll take a look at the past 3 days. When the news came out regarding China and some of the issues potentially there with the ICO, I think that was something that was really something that was, I thought, pretty big news. A lot of people didn't want to hear it or didn't want to say it was big news, but I mean, you can see this chart here right now, and you could tell. I mean, a chart doesn't move like that unless there is some type of big news. Whether it's FUD, whatever it is, it's still news, and that's important. And if you are investing in the space, you should know about that. You should consider it. I'm not saying that Neo is not a buy right now. I'm actually somewhat interested in Neo moving forward, and pretty. Basically pretty interested into potentially investing again. I bought Neo at $6. I sold it at $38. So when it comes down to it, I did all right off the top, but I'm still interested in kind of looking at it forward. But when I made that video yesterday, I talked a little bit about Neo. There's definitely going to be regulation issues on the horizon, and right now this was Neo that got affected. Could be Ethereum in the future that could get affected. It could be Bitcoin in the future that can get affected. It doesn't matter. Regulation definitely can hurt there. Sasha, have I covered Nexus? I have not covered Nexus, Sasha. I'm not too familiar with Nexus, so I mean I can definitely check it out here in the in the near future, but I haven't covered Nexus at this point in time. I mean there's a lot of cryptocurrencies to cover, so I try to try to definitely do what I can and do as much as possible for for everybody there. But I'll pull up some information on Nexus just to try to get as much as possible there. But I'm not off the top too familiar with kind of what Nexus is. But looking at it, I mean it's definitely had a spike, and I don't know necessarily what that kind of spike is associated with. If you've been invested recently, good for you on Nexus. But right now, I'm not too too in on it as well. Richard mentions I only have Bitcoin and Ethereum. You're up a little bit. Yeah, I mean, they're both two cryptocurrencies that are, I think kind of the mainstays and good ones to go with. Somebody just mentioned the Monito ICO tomorrow. What do I think? And I think that's actually one that I'm going to be looking at potentially investing in. This is, if you're not familiar with Monito, this is it's kind of like an OMG competitor. I would say it's almost a direct OMG competitor. And even if it's not as good as OMG, if it performs anywhere near as well as OMG has, it's something that I'm pretty interested in, in looking at and trying to hop into. So I'm definitely interested in investing in OMG. The crowd sale is actually, or the ICO is happening tomorrow on August 31st in the morning on the East Coast. So I am definitely interested. I'm going to try and get in on that. I'm sure, I don't know if it's going to sell out or not. It's potential. But with where OMG has gone and kind of the payment processing space and how that has really moved in terms of the marketplace, I'm interested in seeing what happens there. So I'm going to try to examine this a little bit further tonight, but I've spoken to a few people. I had coffee this morning with somebody in Manhattan that works at one of the big banks and is also really interested. He's pretty much does on the side, almost full time, does ICO research. Really cool dude, and he mentioned Monito as well in a Slack group that I'm in. So that's definitely something that I'm gonna look at as well. Red Pulse, I haven't examined Red Pulse too much. Actually heard, I guess they're not. It's kind of funny because Red Pulse is on the Neo platform, correct? And then is based out of China, but they're not allowing Chinese investors, I believe. Somebody mentioned. So it's kind of the same deal with a lot of. I don't think Monito is allowing U.S. investors. So unless you're VPNing and opening yourself up to liability or whatever it might be, but I think similar situation there for Red Pulse where they're not allowing investors for China, I believe, is kind of the word on the street. Don't quote me on that yet, but that's kind of what I've heard there. But pretty interested too as far as, like I said, as far as this token sale starts in 16 hours. So when it does start, I'm gonna take a look. I like the the background of the technology. They have some pretty cool. They have some pretty good videos to get used to. The only thing I would say is that outside of everything goes, I would say that the founder just needs to not wear turtlenecks again. He seems like a cool dude, but no turtlenecks in your future videos. So if he just needs to change his shirt because he looks like a Bond villain with that turtleneck on. But outside of that, I'm definitely interested in investing in Monito as well. So. Can I share the Slack group for ICOs that I'm in? I'm not, so I don't think I have invite privileges to that. I don't know if it's a private group or what, but I don't think I have invite privileges to that. It's not necessarily like my group. So, yeah. And then let's see, OMG is going up. Let me see. Has it gone up more recently? What's up, Massim? Hey, dude. Let's see, Bitfinex. We'll take a look at USD. See what's happening. Yeah, I mean it's moving. It's pretty much at its all-time high forever. OMG is, if we're looking at these charts. I mean it's $11.60, which is crazy, off the off the back of a lot of this stuff. So yeah, Marique, I do hold OMG. It's one of my core holdings, probably second. It's one of my 3 core holdings. I would say Ethereum, OMG, and Civic, and then Bitcoin as well. So that's definitely. I mean, I woke up this morning. Actually, woke up my fire alarm, or excuse me, my smoke detector went off last night. And I woke up and OMG was through the roof, and Ethereum was through the roof as well. So that it was a pretty good day. And I'll even pull up. Let's pull up ETH here. Take a look at that, because if that's one of your core holdings as well, I mean, this monthly chart has been pretty awesome. We'll take a look, at the 4 hours maybe on the monthly chart. Ethereum, I don't know where it's going to continue to go. I remain pretty confident. I'm going to continue to keep a good core holding of things within Ethereum. But right now, I mean, look at that monthly chart. That's freaking awesome. That's incredible. I mean, for Ethereum to move like that, it's pretty damn good. I think overall in the space too, when you talk about the market capitalization perspective, I mean, it's Bitcoin and then Ethereum is number 2 on that, from that standpoint. So I'm excited to see Ethereum continue to move, and I think from the technical standpoint of Metropolis and a lot of the technical advancements they have coming in September, I like that it's moving kind of in advance of that. In some cases, it might be like a buy the rumor, sell the news type thing, where this movement is happening prior to everything happening. But for the most part, it's looking pretty good. Would it be safe to buy in OMG tomorrow as well, Greg? It might be safe. I quite frankly, I don't know. I mean, if you're looking at OMG, it's at an all-time high. So, shit. Let me try to fix this, guys. See if I can just reduce some of the settings here. Try to just reduce some of the settings if you give me like 1 second. So I apologize for that, guys. See if this might help at all. Hopefully the video output gets a little bit better. Sorry about that. It's because I disrespected the turtleneck. I got nothing against turtlenecks. Yeah, I actually do. Do have something against turtlenecks. Bloom, what's up, man? Is there anything specifically? Who are you trying to block from the feed, man? I don't know. All right. Hopefully it's a little bit better, guys. I appreciate the patience on this, because it's been a pain in the ass. But yeah, for sure. Okay, sweet. Sorry about that. Cool. So, to the effect of kind of Ethereum and looking at what else is going on there. Just want to, make sure from the perspective of ETH and everything else, you just want to keep an eye on where it's moving. And right now, I think we are in right now we're in a bullish market. Things are looking positive. I'm holding. If things start to turn, I might look to move some of my holdings out of, back into USD, or, back into USD temporarily to maybe buy back lower. But at this point in time, I'm hanging on to things and just making sure that I'm in a good place long term as well. So I'm looking forward to that. Let's see, a couple different questions. So is now not a good time to buy OMG? I don't want to say it's not a good time. I'm just saying it's at an all-time high. So you're buying it at the peak that it's ever been at. It really hasn't had a pullback in quite a bit of time. So if you buy now, I don't know. It's a little bit, it's a little bit tough to say whether or not it's a good time to buy because it could continue to rise up. But you just should know. I might think to dollar cost average your way in because it is at an all-time high. So you certainly don't want to put all your money in and see a big OMG correction and then be disappointed about that. So I would just try and dollar cost average. Maybe put half your money in now, wait a couple days, wait a week or so, and then buy the rest later as well. Yeah, a lot of people out there love OMG. A lot of people out there love Neo because, quite frankly, it's made a lot of people a lot of money. So that's been, that's been pretty crazy. Let's pull up. Let's see. What's a couple people talking about the OMG? Yeah, there we are. I mean, the charts in general with OMG have been nuts. It's continuing to rise. I mean, look at this 4 hour right now. It's freaking nuts. It is pretty damn incredible. I think it could potentially push through $12 in the next couple of minutes. Let's continue to watch this and see. I mean, looks like some of that buy volume is slowing down a little bit, but for the most part, I mean, it looks pretty positive moving forward here. So I'm excited to see whether it could push 12 bucks as well. Somebody just mentioned the best place to trade these cryptocurrencies. If you're just looking to trade Ethereum, Bitcoin, and Litecoin, GDAX is a great place. Really, I like GDAX. If you are looking to do other cryptos, what I would recommend is Bittrex is the one I utilize. But there's a lot of other good good places out there as well. You can use a decentralized exchange if you'd like. You could use something like Bitfinex. You could use, really whatever you like. I just like Bittrex. It has kind of all the crypto that I'd want to trade. It has OMG. It has Neo. It has whatever. So you can I can pretty much trade whatever I want to trade, and it works well. Pretty low fees for the most part, so I like it. What website should you use to trade? I use GDAX for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin, and then for the other cryptocurrencies that are more the altcoins, I use Bittrex. Somebody mentioned OMG. Leonardo mentioned OMG rising off the Thailand McDonald's news. I think that's probably somewhat of a material impact, but at the same point in time, I don't know if that's if that's going to continue to pump the price. Who knows? It's tough to say. Somebody mentioned, thanks to the videos, do you think you should continue to dollar cost average into Ethereum at this point? I'm continuing to dollar cost average regardless, so I'll give you guys kind of my thoughts on this as well. But basically what I'm doing is every 2 weeks, pretty much every paycheck, basically, I'm putting a couple $100 into, or a little bit of money back into cryptocurrency. So I'm just putting a bunch of money back into cryptocurrency every the 15th and the 30th of every month, so that I can continue to dollar cost average. So if it goes up, I'm putting money in. If it goes down, I'm putting money in. Basically just trying to dollar cost average and be as effective as possible in that way, and trying to take all the kind of decision making out of crypto. The one, I wish that Coinbase's fees were lower, because they have the recurring buy, or I wish I could do a recurring buy in GDAX. That would be really awesome, but you can't do that. So I like the idea of a recurring buy within Coinbase, but I don't like the fees that are associated with it. So, but I think dollar cost averaging is the move. If you do have spare money every month, whatever it might be, I would just try to take the decision making out of it and just put money in on the 1st and the 15th of every month, or whatever it is. If it's every week, if it's every 7 days, just put money in continuously so that you can dollar cost average and be as effective as possible that way. I think that's a good way to trade, and it also gives you exposure really good exposure as far as the crypto goes, to be more successful that way. Like I said, because ETH might be at 382 right now, but maybe it drops, and I might buy some ETH right now, and maybe it drops back down to 300. I'm not saying it will, but maybe it drops back down to 300. The good part is I'm buying in the next 2 weeks anyway, so I'm buying back when it's down to 300. If it goes down more, I'm going to continue to buy. So I'm just going to continue to buy, and I think that's, positive there as well. Let's see. I don't know what that is there. So, Camille Monster, got your messages deleted, brother? If anybody has any questions, too, specifically on any types of crypto, whether it is, I can certainly take a look at it, too, so I can get a good feel for you guys as well. If there is any specific thoughts or anything like that, definitely let me know in the comments right now on what you're thinking about, what your questions are, where your investments are. Let me know, and happy to address those as well. Do I buy in Bitcoin? What do I dollar cost average? I dollar cost average primarily Bitcoin and Ethereum, primarily Ethereum and then Bitcoin as well. And then I look to potentially move some of those, some of that money from Bitcoin and Ethereum into the altcoins. So I kind of dollar cost average everything, but the initial purchases are always in Ethereum or Bitcoin, just because I do it through GDAX. So that's kind of what I do. A is my off. You have 125K to invest. What would I recommend? If that's US dollars, I would dollar cost average the shit out of that, and I would not put 125K in right now, because that could easily go down to 60K or 40K. So unless you're really comfortable with unless you're really comfortable potentially losing that 125K, I mean, I think long term it's going to go up, but unless you're comfortable potentially losing that, I would dollar cost average the absolute hell out of that 125K. If it's putting 10K in this month, 10K in the next month, basically for the next year, 20K in for the next 6 months, I would dollar cost average that for sure. Somebody mentioned Iota. I've talked a little bit about Iota in the past, and I'll get to Tenx as well. But somebody mentioned here, let's take a look at Iota. And somebody mentioned Coinigy too. I just kind of started using Coinigy. I like the charting tools. It's kind of fun. I like the interface. It's just the colors, even though I'm red-green colorblind, so it is what it is. Already lost 11K, so I'm a little negative. Yeah, that'll happen, especially when you buy in towards the top. So, I mean, Iota's had a fairly nice run. Let's look in the last month or so. Iota's had a pretty good run. It's kind of stabilizing here a little bit around the 85 cents mark or so. But it's definitely up from, it's up, let's take a look measure-wise. From the 1st of August, it's still up 246%. Iota is, so that is, that's a good gain for the entire month. Yeah, OAX, I'm a bag holder right now in OAX, so it is what it is. Yeah, it's a tough trade, man. Okay, and Tenx, somebody mentioned Tenx. One question, and does my portfolio consist of Tenx? No, my portfolio right now does not consist of Tenx. I'll pull up, let's see here. So I'm fairly positive on Tenx for the most part, but I don't have any money invested within Tenx right now. So, for me personally, it's something that Tenx that I'm not. I like the space. It's a good utility for a lot of people, but at the same point in time, it's a good utility, but at the same point, I'm just not super appealed by investing in like really a credit card company for the most part. And I know there's some utility. There's a lot of utility outside of that. I don't want to just limit it to saying it's a credit card company, but I think there's other more interesting things. Somebody just mentioned, what is my day job? I work in software sales, so I sell accounting, ERP software to financial services companies, typically based out of Manhattan. So. Yeah, Danny. 10x is definitely executing well. You certainly can't can't argue that. They're one of, I would say, not one of the few, but they definitely are kind of one of the few companies within cryptocurrency that is really executing well in terms of actually putting strategies in place, executing on those ideas, and getting those. It's certainly a good project. I tried to invest in the ICO and actually didn't get into the ICO, so I really haven't kind of. It's gone up quite a bit since the ICO, so if I did get on the ICO, I probably would be holding, but I do like what they're doing in the space, how they're executing, the strategies they're working in on. But the one thing I will say from the standpoint of cash back is, I believe, and there was some type of some type of posting was on Medium, just in regards to the number of transactions, the number of card holders that need to happen on Tenx that need to happen for like you to really get substantial cash back, and it's like a massive number. So they really need to hit scale for you to get much money back. And that's the one thing too, Daniel, I think, and that's the same with any type of, I think, crypto adoption is so much of crypto right now for the most part is speculative, and it's investment. It's not necessarily spending. I mean, at least for me personally, I'm investing. I'm not going to spend my money. I'm not going to go to overstock.com and take my Ethereum or my Bitcoin and buy a mattress, because I think of this more as an investment. But there are also a lot of people, especially kind of within the libertarian type community, that are really interested in spending just exclusively Bitcoin or exclusively cryptocurrency, just to kind of reduce government involvement and things like that. So for sure. No, I kind of agree there, Daniel. And then Danny mentioned Kik is the Kik ICO. Let's see here. Whoops, it's not. So is the Kik ICO open to the U.S.? Wow. So two things here. So I'll talk about two things. Number one, this is definitely a scam of some sort. Let's take a look at this. This has to be a scam. Yep. It's probably something that people think is Kik, and it's not Kik. So that's pretty crazy that it's getting advertised on Google. If you can see that right now, the ICO platform sounds a little bit like they're specifically trying to take advantage of Kik, K-I-K, like I just did, and then just advertising that. So that's interesting in and of itself. Now that's advertising on Google there, but I believe, you are. If you're a U.S. citizen, you shouldn't have any problem investing in the Kin by Kik ICO. One thing that you need to know is that you need to register with they're doing some pretty strong requirements from a know your customer perspective, KYC perspective, on you need a passport basically, or a social security number. So unless you're comfortable providing that information, you're not going to want to invest. But if you are fine providing that information, then you'll be fine. So definitely just one thing to to kind of be aware of as you're looking at it. Yeah, somebody mentioned Tenx and mobile payments is the future, not necessarily credit cards. I mean, I think that's definitely a possibility. I guess we'll see. I mean, credit cards still, I feel like it's almost been not impossible to kill credit cards, but it's definitely happening. So. Why is District OX dropping so much, holding the bag just like I am? Yeah, we'll take a look at DNT, so we can kind of pull that up. Let's see if there's anything. It's all... This is US dollars. So here we got DNT. This is on Liquid, but this is still pretty good data. Yeah, DNT has gotten crushed lately. Crushed lately for sure. And with DNT, with DNT right now, I bought in when it was around, let's say, 11 cents or so, and now DNT is to around 10 cents. So I'm actually in. I mean, as far as DNT goes, I'm kind of in the red if we're looking at things here. I'm down in these parts, or I bought around here, pretty much almost exactly where we are right now, and we're basically down. So it is. You know, DNT had a really nice run when it was the rumor was it was getting added to Bittrex, and apparently that was a rumor that you should have sold on. It kind of is what it is at this point in time. I'm just holding. I think long term it's an interesting crypto. It's a project with some legs behind it, so I'm interested in seeing that for sure. Chandler asks, "What am I drinking right now?" This is sparkling water. I'm actually about to head to happy hour in like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. So I'm meeting one of my buddies who's also a crypto investor. I'm meeting up with him to have a couple drinks and talk about this whole crazy space in a little bit of time. So I'm excited about that. Definitely going to have some beers. But yeah. Jake, I don't even know how to. You got too many letters in your name, brother. Thoughts on taking the approach of buying the top 10 to 15 currencies as a percentage of total market cap to diversify? I mean, it's not a terrible idea by any stretch. I mean, we can take a look at things now. I mean, that's not the worst idea in the world. You know, if you bought the 10 top cryptocurrencies, you'd be looking at. You'd be looking at Bitcoin, or Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, Ripple, whatever, blah, 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 blah. So you'd be looking at some decent coins there. And I mean, I think that's a good way to diversify. I also, quite frankly, I think there's a lot of value going outside of some of these cryptos. So like, I like looking at value down in this kind of like, let's say, really in the top 100. You know, I'm trying to find some value, let's say in the $50 million range. That's kind of what really interests me, is looking at something that's going to go from the $50 million market cap, $100 million market cap, to the $300, $400, $5 million market cap. That's really interesting to me. Ron mentions Civic. I'll pop back over here. Civic is definitely one of my core holdings right now. I got in at the ICO and haven't sold yet. So Civic is one of my core holdings. I like the team. I like the product. I've used the product in ICOs. I know it works. And the founder sold his last company for over $50 million or so. So I like Civic, and I'm going to continue to hold for the time being. And I think if Civic can kind of position itself as like the identity management solution of choice for the crypto industry, it's going to do really well. And I think as long as it continues to kind of get involved in these ICOs and make a name for itself in the space, that hopefully will allow it to move up nicely. Somebody mentioned, let me see, where to buy DNT. I mean, the easiest way too, if you guys aren't familiar, so let's just look over here. I'll just pop up here to, if you want to, if you ever want to know where to buy something, if you're like, where do I buy a certain cryptocurrency, just go to CoinMarketCap, and then when it loads, if it ever loads, CoinMarketCap is usually pretty damn slow. If it ever loads, so you click on the Markets tab, and this is going to tell you the different markets that a crypto trades on. So DNT right now trades, you can see DNT trades on Binance, it trades on Liqui, BTR, Ether Delta. It also tells you the trade pairs and the volume as well, and the price. One thing that I'll just have you be aware of is that a lot of times you might see some price differential between some of these exchanges. It doesn't always mean that there's an arbitrage available. Like I've had a lot of people be like, oh wow, it's 13 cents here, but it's 10 cents here, so I can just buy it on Binance for 10 cents and then sell it for 13 cents. Yeah, technically you could, but there's only $6,000 of volume on, I don't even know what Mercatox is, but there's only $6,000 of volume on Mercatox, so you might not be able to sell any of that at all. So just be aware of that when you're looking at those volumes. Don't necessarily get fall in love with the possibility of an arbitrage, because for sometimes it's not the easiest. What do I think of Ismail mentioned Neo? What do I think of Neo? I mean, I think Neo has room to go back up for sure. I mean, it's had a nice healthy dip here. I think some of it is quite frankly based on rumors. So I mean, you know, we're looking at Neo was at its all-time high maybe 2 weeks or so ago, around 50 something US dollars, and now is down to 34 and change, and it's recovered a little bit here. I mean, it could still potentially go down a little bit more. I guess we'll see what happens there, but I'm considering looking into. I exited Neo at $38. Put it all into. I exited Neo at $38 right around this point in time, like August 20th or so. Put it into Ethereum, which has been good because Ethereum has moved up since kind of Neo's gone sideways or moved down. So that turned out to be a pretty good trade for me. But I'm looking and thinking about maybe hopping back into Neo, just depending upon how things move there as well. G Angel, where to buy DNT? Literally, here's where you buy DNT. Binance, Liquid, BTR, Ether, Delta. Those are kind of the main places. Just go to CoinMarketCap, hit up that Markets tab, and that'll tell you exactly where to buy DNT, as well as the basically the volume as well. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Well, guys, if you are new here too, I know we got about 100 people in here, which is awesome. But if you are new here, I do daily crypto videos as well, where daily recorded videos, and then I do these crypto happy hours. Usually I'm drinking beer, but I'm about to go get happy hour in the near future here. But usually I am drinking, so hopefully you're drinking something good. But if you are new here, I would really love a subscribe. That'd be fantastic. I do these daily videos, and I also do these spontaneous crypto happy hours, just answering questions, kind of hanging out, getting to know everybody, because this is a pretty awesome space. I love it. So if you are new, definitely hit up the subscribe so you can get this content to your YouTube channel. That'd be fantastic. I'd really appreciate that. And if you have any questions too, please let me know. And then also, just so you guys are aware, if you ever need anything just in regards to contacting me, or if you want to see my portfolio or like the tools I use, definitely check out the website that I have. I'll put a link right here to just like my tools and resources page. If you need anything regarding like if you're brand new to crypto, if you need to sign up to Coinbase, or if you're looking to get a ledger, or if you're looking I use Bittrex, and then CoinG, whatever it is. If you ever need anything, let me know. I'm kind of here. I'm definitely here to help out, and hopefully, allow you to view the crypto space without all the kind of crazy, crazy BS that goes on with some of the other stuff, without all the hype and without all the kind of emotional nonsense as well. Guys, at this point too, at this point as well, what I'm gonna head out to the bar. I'm gonna take this sparkling water and I'm gonna turn it into a beer, hopefully, and multiple beers. But again, I appreciate the time so much, guys. If you, like I said, if you want to hit me up with the subscribe, that'd be awesome. This channel has been, the growth here has been so cool, talking to everybody. And again, if you need anything, just go to the website, Crypto Bobby. My email's there, all the resources are there, Twitter and all that stuff. So